Hello, everybody.
I'm doubting that I hit record. I did. Okay.
Yay!
Face in the camera. We're going to do a session live for you guys.
Yeah,
We're in a new setting, and it'll probably look different for a little while every time you see us.
Yeah, we're figuring things out.
We're transitioning in lots of different ways. We talk about EMCS a lot, so we thought it's hard to describe, and sometimes it sounds so kind of out there and woo-woo that we thought just like, let's record a live demonstration of what we're doing. And so we're going to work today. You can diffuse any kind of issue, from the pattern of always choosing unavailable men to I've got some left shoulder pain to,
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of all the things that we've done. For me, it's probably been more personal time.
Yeah.
Like things like today, I think we were going to work on self-worth.
Yeah.
So I think we've done a lot of underlying issues where I might feel stuck, let's say, in my career. I would come to Joan and say, I'm feeling really stagnant. I'm feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm not making big strides or whatever.
Right.
And we would talk for probably 30 minutes before we get around to the fact that I'm not valuing myself, or I'm not valuing my time.
Most issues end up distilling down to low self-worth issues.
Yes. Yeah. I would
For
say
a majority of people.
Majority of mine.
Myself included, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Have we done any? I'm trying to think of like physical things.
Maybe a couple of times.
But regardless, I know that we've talked about it. Like people can come in with a physical, literal, a meat suit issue that isn't necessarily, well, I mean, like for me, my wonkiest system is my digestive system, which energetically is like me not processing.
Right. Literally something you're not stomaching well. It's either you're not learning the lesson from a pattern, and so you're not digesting that well. And so often we find that the body is incredibly literal. Hip issues are about balance in life. The left side of the body is the more feminine, receiving side. The right side is the more masculine, giving to the world. And so when we, say your left hip goes out, then there's some sort of issue around balance and receiving in some capacity. And I mean, it's never not shown up that way in the sessions. Feet and knees are about moving forward in life, so when we have issues there. So yeah, the body is incredibly literal.
Yeah, and I mean, knock wood, I haven't been having meat. I mean, like I've had wonky meat suit issues, so we haven't worked on that. Mine have all been more emotional.
I did a session on myself last week or the week before on TJ syndrome. And the patterns that came up, I thought it was bruxism, like just
clenching. Clenching.
We did some muscle testing to make sure, and it's like, I don't have TMJ
yet.
But I've got, I'm kind of on my way with those symptoms. It's all related to money. It's all stress around money. I had a curse of poverty that we broke, which like curses, when they come up, it sounds so dramatic, and that like a witch must be involved and a hex was placed on you, and it's not that dramatic. It's just a very deep pattern. Feels like a curse.
Yeah. Well, and I think it is like when you say it's a very deep pattern, past life stuff comes up in a lot of these issues as well. Epigenetics is a real thing, and so even if you have you struggle with the latching on to, this is something I brought over into this life from a past life, then perhaps think of it on an epigenetic level, that let's say your ancestors survived a famine.
Right.
And that is something that is literally it rewrote the DNA of your ancestors to where that memory changed them to where their physical vessels,
their gene expression changed
so that they could somehow get out in front of another famine, or at least have that epigenetic knowledge of, okay, well,
I guarantee you people that have hoarding issues came out of periods like that.
Well, when I had said to you, when I was being squirrely with money not too long ago, and when I say being squirrely with money, I was obsessively purchasing things in order to try to be prepared for something that felt really important, and I was not doing it in a way that was either good or healthy or even productive towards what I was trying to do. Right. I was doing it as out of like a fear, and then what if, and then I gotta, and blah, 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 and bringing that energy to it. And that is hoarding energy, or to me, it felt like hoarding energy.
Right, I'm filling up something.
There's a hole.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fill it, or there's this.
Right, it's root chakra stuff.
Yes. Which brings us to where when Joan and I do energy work together, I have this working theory. I have not seen, if this is something that other people have done extensive work on, I'm not trying to co-opt it and say I found it or it's mine, but I feel like the energy work that Joan and I do, where I feel, I'm going to say symptoms, they're not symptoms, but when I feel that energy working through my body, it seems to go through my digestive system, which is my wonkiest system. That is where I have my issues. Like this morning, I was feeling anxious. I was feeling it all here. And then even when I was over that and I got here and was talking to Joan, the whole time I was talking to her, I was holding myself. I was touching myself here to the point that I was aware that, I'm holding my hands on this part of my body. I'm not bringing your issues, but I feel like, there's some endocrine stuff going on, and that is where you're having.
Right.
I feel like our meat suits give us our hot spots, like like you're processing it through here, and mine seems to be going through like that's the way it's going to go through me. I guess I'm either going to barf it up or poop it out. I don't know. It's the way. Fun, sexy, the sexy stuff.
Before we jump in, just explain really briefly, you talked about confidence in your outer life, but tell me how the home life kind of produced a different effect that caused this causal to this low self-worth issue.
So when Joan asked me what I thought we wanted to work on today, it kind of in our conversations that we've been having came up that I have finally kind of come to, let me back all the way up. My husband had said something to me that was a huge, I don't know where to look. I'm like trying to look at our friends here and then also talk to Joan. So I feel like I'm on a swivel. We'll look at them. Okay. So my husband had said something to me one day, and to him, I think it was a very passive comment about insecurity. And it rang like a bell inside my head. I was like, I'm not insecure. I'm not insecure. And I could tell whenever I brought it to you and I had told you that he had said that, you were a little bit like, because we sure do. We sure spend a lot of time talking about these insecurities that you have. And I had never clocked it as insecure. And I think you used the exact same verbiage that Barrett used, which is, what is this fear of being perceived wrong then? What is that if that's not insecurity? And so that is a huge trigger for me. I don't know a real concise way to explain it other than if I'm doing something or if we're interacting and I feel like I am in my highest truth good, I'm being a good person and whatever, and you're responding to me in a way that does not line up with what I'm doing and how I'm being. Let's say you're just rejecting me outright and just being like, I don't like you, or what are you saying, or what are you talking about, or whatever. That is very disconcerting to me, discombobulating. It scrambles my signals. It's very familiar to me because growing up in my family of origin was the parentified eldest sister, and anyone who's a parentified eldest sister in the world, you would understand. And if you don't, I don't know, Google's free. You can. There's so much information about it, but you know what I mean. Like we're trying to be tight with time, but I'm also trying to tiptoe around my whole birth situation too. I'm really honestly more worried about how to tell something in a timely manner rather than, you know what I mean? Like I think it's pretty much out there. Before I turned 50, I found out that my dad that raised me wasn't my biological dad, and that had been a big family secret. And family secret.
Right, from you.
From me. And so in the process of that discovery and sorting all that out, it made a whole lot of things make a whole lot of sense to me, which was the dynamics in my family and how I was just always perceived as the scapegoat, especially in my immediate family, but even extending out further. And there's some human design stuff that plays into that I think Jen will be able to help me with, because I'm not that really good on the human design verbiage, but around the 5-1, the 5 part as being,
you live in a projection field where everyone puts responsibility on you to save them.
yes.
And they don't even realize that they're doing it. It's not a conscious, well, maybe, but it's more often subconscious.
That's actually kind of a comfort to know that it's subconscious, because it has always, not always, but it has mostly felt pretty conscious.
Yeah.
Like, it was always really super confusing to me that
have the answers. They do.
Yeah.
They universalize topics. They make it easy for people to understand everything that is below the 5. And
is that the macro thing that I keep talking about? Like, that's the way I describe this overview that I have of things, that like if I'm pulled into a situation, I always seem to have a different vantage point, and I always feel like I have the ability to see things from up very high, or see things from this very broad, overarching, energetic almost theme. And I can go micro, be in, like, I can see why Joan would feel the way Joan feels, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm looking at a system,
right,
I would,
weeds a little bit.
Yeah, yes. Bring it up. So, bringing it back to what we're going to work on today. Good God Almighty. Bringing it back to what we're going to work on today. In my family growing up, the world, when I was out on my own, reflected back to me that I was doing great. I'm doing okay. I knew that I wasn't.
You're pretty enough. You're smart enough.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, like,
right.
no one was telling me I was an ogre. No one was telling me that I was stupid. I didn't make bad grades. Like, I felt like I was doing okay. And then in the home, it was just not ever right. It was not ever good. It was not ever okay. And even when I thought that it was, like, even if I was doing what explicitly given to me, set of instructions, the goalpost would always move, or the responsibility would shift to somehow being mine. And that fucked me up. Like, I never understood it. And really, honestly, when we started doing the energy work and I started learning about human design and started learning all of these different systems and applying you also found out someone's big super duper secret and put them on Front Street. Now you've got injured feelings and anger, and you know what I mean? Like, that kind of disturbed all the gross, yucky sediment that was already on the bottom and made it already, like an already murky situation, muddy. And the only thing that I've known to do about it at this point in my life at 55 is I've just detached with love and removed myself completely.
But the issue is still there.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
And the reason that happens is that from birth to about 6-7 years of age, when our brain is still in, I can never remember which brainwave pattern, but there's a brainwave pattern. We're in this sponge stage, right? We're absorbing everything that is around us, and we're coming to conclusions about it. Our brain is developing, and so we're like, but it's sort of, we can only understand to hear.
And this is my truth that my world is telling me.
Yeah.
And
so then you get older and you're out in the world and you're being taught a different experience.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. And you're like, why isn't it working? You know, because these other patterns that got instilled at a younger age are still the drivers of the other thing, even though.
Well, and I was also taught that you can't trust anyone outside of your family. You can't trust anyone outside of this group. You can't trust anyone outside of the home. Only having relatives, like
shame and family secrets and like all of that stuff that just piles up on a tiny human who's ultimately a tiny hostage in whatever situation, and we hope that it's good, but oftentimes it's not. And
what it did was program me to be out in the world, and despite what the world was reflecting to me, was I couldn't trust that.
Yeah.
And I had to run on what was programmed into me. And what I picked up was not being wanted. And that as long as I was useful, then I was needed. So when you're not wanted, you make yourself really fucking useful so that you will be needed and not cast out. And so what that created in my family system was a group of people that really relied heavily on me for anything, advice. They call me with medical questions, call me with I don't know, just questions, recipe questions, hair questions.
Fix it.
Help me. All the while telling me I'm not to be trusted, that I am bad. I mean, like reflecting to me, you're bad, we don't trust you. Well, and being told that I was a liar. That was another thing too. I was told like, well, you're just a liar. I didn't ever feel like I was a liar. I always made it a point to, I would definitely fawn and lie to not hurt someone's feelings, lie in complicity. Like if I knew there was something that I wasn't supposed to say, you betcha I'd fucking lie, because if I had to go home and the HBIC that I dealt with behind closed doors knew that I was out in them streets telling an uncomfortable truth that wasn't approved of,
right.
Oh my God. So yeah.
Well, we learned, it's like sort of, it was really uncomfortable for me to learn this, but like people pleasing is a form of manipulation.
Very much so.
But it's but I'm so polite.
Polite form of control. And also I was trying to control the people that were around me, because the people that were around me were not safe. I never grew up feeling safe. The adults in my life drank a lot, fought a lot. Whoever wasn't in the room with us at that time was being trashed. So I just lived under the assumption that if I was in the room, then I was just being raked over the coals behind my back. I mean, like, because that's what they were doing to everybody else. So why wouldn't they be just dumping shit on me when I wasn't there? And it wasn't demonstrated. It wasn't any particular group of people. It was just kind of the way. I mean, like, it was just kind of the way. And to me, that was very normal.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I was much older and got out into the world and started experiencing life on my own that I realized, it was like recently, that I just lived in this cognitive dissonance of just believing that I'm doing okay and feeling pretty confident in myself, but completely devaluing any worth that I had out into the world. And so if that was reflected back to me, I would just be like, okay, I guess you're right. And that really the way I saw that is like people coming to me and wanting me to discount my work, like give them a discount. It was very easy for people to be like, well, and if you can bully me, you can threaten me, whatever, and you will never be able to talk me into doing anything. But if you can somehow figure out a way to either guilt me or help me feel sorry for you. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I believe in your story and I feel really bad for you, then you can take it full advantage. Like I will be completely, or historically, I have been willing to help another person out because I will feel like, and that's how my ego used to be fed too, was being such a helper,
right,
and being such a do-gooder,
yeah,
you know. So all the while being told what a piece of shit I was. So I mean,
yes, you can see how it becomes confusing, and then you're still in this place. You're like, I still care what people think. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm learning to not. I'm being, like I was just telling Joan earlier, being in a relationship now with my husband where I feel very cherished, very valued. Like everything that I do feels like it holds great value. It has helped me move the needle on what treatment and stuff goes, but I have not figured out a way to, well, I can't control anyone, so I'm never going to convince a group of people that doesn't value me that I have value. What I have to learn to do is, I guess,
own it.
Yeah, and live without those people.
Right.
Like, I don't want...
What you're going to find is that those people won't be there to... Once you heal this pattern, you're not going to find people that think badly about you because you will think correctly for yourself. So there's no longer a need for this mirror to be held up of like, are you going to address this?
Right.
Are you going to address this issue? When are you going to? So that's really how it works.
Do you value yourself now?
Yeah.
And like for me, it's really hard to accept that I do value myself. It's hard to accept that I am not valued by people that I value. That has been the hardest thing, is just to accept, maybe not no value, but like I have a very low value. And since I have stopped people pleasing, since I have stopped volunteering, I have made a pretty steadfast rule that if someone comes to me and they ask me for help, I'm available, but I will not volunteer. I will not volunteer for shit. And because I always felt compelled to be like, oh, I'll help. And now I'm just like, no. I mean, unless I feel activated on it and I want to, and then I for sure will. But I mean, like, as far as just, you know what I'm talking about, just dumb shit. I'm not volunteering for dumb shit that other adults are capable of handling themselves. And if that means figuring out who a doctor is, or the name of a thing, or where do I go, or how do I do, or whatever, Google's free. Do it yourself. And I'm being perceived as being cold or uncaring.
Right.
And so that's kind of fucking with me a little bit too, because I'm not cold.
And this is specifically your family members, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are probably other people that, I don't know, that probably feel somewhat rejected by me, considering that this has been a pretty abrupt change for me, but it felt like I either don't want to be here. When I say here, I mean Earth, or I have to figure out a different way to be here and make this experience comfortable for me, because I'm not enjoying any of this. Like, whatever's being reflected back to me does not feel good.
Right.
This group of people that are supposed to be my people, I don't feel valued. I do not feel loved. I do not feel.
And sometimes we come here and use parents and family situations that are never going to reconcile in this lifetime. And so there's a chance that is true for you.
It 1,000% is true for me. Yeah.
But we still have to figure out a way to live without bitterness, or to somehow
feel hurt by this anymore. I mean, it is what it is. It's very sad. It's been very hard. It's been very painful, but it has been such a growth. It's been such a learning experience. It's been such a freeing experience in a lot of ways.
But it's obviously still bothering you, because that's why we're working on it today.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Let me double check that isn't gonna do its weird freezy thing on it again. Right.
I feel like I'm standing weird.
Take a big, deep, letting go breath. Show me a yes. Show me a no. And you're here and present and communicating energetically on every level: body, mind, emotional, essential, etheric, astral, mental, and causal. You are somewhere else. I have permission to work with you in this way. And that I don't. And you commit to taking 100% responsibility for noticing, acting on, and benefiting from the positive change without self-punishment for that change. Any reason that you wouldn't make that choice. And I have permission to focus this process on diffusing low self-worth today. That's the highest priority. There is a higher priority. I need to add or take away anything from that statement. Our command is that any miasm, universal, subconscious, negative prompters, belief systems.
We're both having a little performance anxiety on this whole thing of doing this.
Past life experiences, genetic imprinting, karmic ties, epigenetic imprinting, or any other kind of distorted energy that would in any way cause or support this effect be extirpated from your holographic human energy system. Canceled on a compass of time, repatterned on all soul levels, all dimensions, known and unknown, and transformed into the universal law of light, love, balanced, rhythmic. You understand and accept the command. Any reason that you don't? Give me an indicator change for all that apply. Core negative belief, and which one? 1 to 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 15, 14. There are more core negative beliefs to identify. Moving on, shadow belief, and which one? 1 to 10 to 20 to 30, 20 to 25, 26, 27. There are more shadow beliefs to identify. Moving on, historical, and give me an indicator change for your gender in that life. You are male, female, and this was in the past. This was in the future. Give me an indicator change for how many lives ago. 1 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30, 30, 29. You lived on this planet. You lived in a different star system. Where on this planet? 1 to 5, 6. And the age of your death in that lifetime, 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50, 40 to 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. You were specifically in China. You were anywhere else. This was well, give me your cause of death first. 1 to 5, 6, 7. This was specifically during the Song Dynasty. Any reason that that's not it?
That's funny. That was one
That's why it came to me.
connection. That's so funny. I was just like, hey, that was one of the things. That is hilarious.
I was gonna go through the ones that are listed
well,
there.
I literally had to Google it because I was like,
Oh,
song
really?
is a yes, but I got it right. Anyway,
Yeah.
go us. Yay. That's funny.
You were single in that lifetime, and you were married. And your social status, 1 to 5, 6, 7, and single.
Oh. Bear didn't show up in that.
Was in this lifetime, Barrett was a sibling in this life. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to know anything more about that lifetime to clear it. Moving on, historical, and give me an indicator change for how many generations back. 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, and indicator change for mother's side, father's side, and the codon that is being affected. 1 to 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 16, 17, and moving on, ancestral, which side, mother's side, how many epigenetic ages back. 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, 8, and the codon that is being affected. 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 6, 7. Moving on, lost will, and which one? 1 to 5 to 10, 5, 6, 7. Knowing the age that this occurred will be helpful in this session. Any reason that it wouldn't be? 55 to 50 to 40 to 30, 30 to 35, 36, 37. Symptom of a miasm, divine spirit level, dimensional levels, an aspect of a negative energetic cord, and which one? 1 to 5, 2, 3. Give me an indicator change for this cord's function and its origin. 1. Did this come from Barrett? Reason that it didn't? Fascinating.
What?
And yeah.
I can't wait. I know.
Give me an indicator change for its attachment site in your field. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meridian. Which one will be helpful?
No, you're fine. I'm always so proud of Jen that she can shuffle through all these papers because I'm telling you, give me anxiety.
Okay. Show me a yes. Show me a no. And give me an indicator change for which meridian is affected. 1 to 5 to 10, 11, 12, 13. It's affecting how you see yourself.
Well, there you go. Imagine that.
I think we have just 2 more questions. Show me a yes, show me a no. This is a conscious agreement. This is an unconscious agreement. And which one is it? 1, 2, 3. And the timeline that this originated. 1, 2, 3. And this is specifically this past life that came up in Asia. Any reason that that's not it? I need to know anything else about that to clear it. Moving on, rituals, curses, and which one? 1 to 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 16, 17, and give me its function. 1, and its origin. Where is this attached? And which chakra? This is a conscious agreement. This is an unconscious agreement. And which one? 1, 2, and the timeline that this originated. 4, and this is ancestral. Yes, okay. Give me an indicator change for the subtle energy bodies affected. Physical, ethereal, astral, mental. You know, the level of responsibility, antagonism. Give me an indicator change for the avoidant behavior. 1 to 5. 2, the universal fear. 1 to 5. 1, 2. I mean, obviously self-worth was going to come out.
Yeah, I was like, it's
And the reflective mirror. 1 to 5. 5. And the element. 1 to 5 to 10. 10, 9. And the matrix systems affected. Matrix 1, 2. Give me an indicator change for the specific point. 1 to 5. 1, 2. And which one? 1, 2. There are other meridians to identify. Moving on, matrix 3. And which chakra is affected? 1 to 7, 8. There are other chakras to identify. Moving on, matrix 5, 6. This is skeletal. This is muscular. And which one? 4. And which one? 1 to 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 15, 14. Brain and my hand are not working in tandem. There are others in that category to be identified. Moving on, matrix 7, 8, and which one? 1 to 5 to 10, 9. This ancestral wound is different than the ancestral information that came up. It's the same, but I need to clear that specifically in a different way than just clearing the codon alone. Any reason that I wouldn't do it that way? There are others in that category to be identified. Moving on, matrix 9. And which one? 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9. Matrix, there are others in that category. Matrix 10. And which one? 1 to 3. There are others. Moving on, matrix 11, 14. And which tooth is affected? 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 6. There are other teeth to identify. We're clearing in present time. Any reason that we're not? There's data from the past that needs to be brought forward. So give me an indicator change when that data has been loaded into your circuitry. Data is now loaded. Any reason that it's not? I need to do something with that data to clear it. And give me an indicator change for the essence best to clear the past. A, 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9. And how many drops would you take? 13. Thank you. Dip down.
It might have. Oh shit.
No.
Weird.
Both our faces are just... Show me a yes. Show me a... Give me an indicator change for the essence best to clear codon 17. A, 1 to 5, 2, 3, and how many drops? 13 on the tongue. The essence best to clear codon 7A, 1 to 5, 1, 2. How many drops? 13 on the tongue, under. And the lost will, A, 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, 8, 7. And how many drops? 13 on. The essence best to transform the negative energetic cord. A, 1 to 5, 2, 3, 4. How many drops would you take? 13 on, under. And the curse. A, 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, 8 drops. 13. The divergent meridian. A, actually, it's a celestial blend. Any reason that it's not? Which one? 1 to 5 to 10, 11, 12. How many drops would you take? On chakra 8. How many drops would you take? 13 on, under. The essence best to clear the muscle. A, 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm so sorry.
No, you
want to talk.
might still be irritated from.
Almost died last night.
Yeah, she was choked.
Which is about overwhelmed. She A, 1 to 5 to 10, 10, 9, 8.
You aren't going anywhere.
How many drops? 13, 12, on, under. The essence best to clear the ancestral wound. A, 1 to 5 to 10, 11. How many drops would you take? 13 on. The essence best to clear the respiratory system. A, 1 to 5 to 10, 11, 12, 13. And how many drops? 13 on, under.
What's my other wonky system? I used to get bronchitis and pneumonia. So sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No, I know that it's like irritated, and that's a very specific, annoying irritation.
Show me a yes, show me a no. Honey, calcite will clear the sacred human wound of rejection. Any reason that it wouldn't? How many drops? 13 on, under.
Sacred wound of rejection.
For tooth 6, 13 on, and to correct in present time. Any reason that I don't? Okay, all right, so that is what the muscle testing portion looks like. We do it again right at the end, just to double check that everything has been cleared in the way. So a ton of information came up.
And some new stuff. I'm super curious.
Did you want to take notes or do you just want to...
Yeah. I will. I'll regret it if I don't.
I know. It's a great day to do any manifestation work. So now we're just going to go through all the information that we just got. So a core negative belief came up. Core negative beliefs are ones that we carry with us. We're born with them. So it could come from a past life. And the one that came up for you is, I never have enough time. And the shadow belief. Shadow beliefs are ones that we adopt before age 6 or 7 when our brain is in the spongy stage. I don't matter.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So you can see already how having underlying patterns like I never have enough time and I don't matter could destructively run the show for your whole life because you're constantly trying to prove those wrong.
Yeah.
But your subconscious mind is never going to prove your conscious mind wrong. I think I just said that correctly. I might have said it backwards. Forgive me.
Your conscious mind's never gonna. Well, and my whole thing is if that's the script that's running is that I don't matter. Not only is that the way I'm operating in the world, but that's also the people that I attract to me.
Right.
In operating in the I don't matter and I never in this devalued state or a state of me devaluing myself. I am giving myself ample opportunity to play that out in relationship with other people, which explains a lot of my past.
Right.
And needing to prove that I am worthy or I am wanted, that I have value to people that are determined to not see my value, to not see my worth. That is why it's so helpful to do this, like to clear.
Yeah,
like,
so you're like, oh, and they're all dramatic. Everyone has them, and they're all very dramatic. They're like, no one loves me.
Yes, these are always the worst possible. Like, take it to like everyone's dead.
Right. I'm the worst of the worst. So then you had a past life come up. You were female. You've always been female.
Oh, I have. I don't know. I was fixing to say.
Well, no, I'm sure you might not have been so far. What's come up?
But in our work, I think so.
We've
I think because I think I have said historically too. I feel like I bring a lot of dude energy, and then I've been female. Anyway,
so interesting. This life was in the past. This is a tricky conversation because time doesn't really exist in the way that we talk about it linearly in our 3D world. This can be a separate episode that we could get into, but that's why I always ask, was this life in the future? Was this life in the past? So it came up in the past. It was 29 of your lives ago. You were living in China. You were underclass and single. You died at age 49 from starvation during the Song Dynasty, and Barrett was a sibling of yours in that lifetime.
And so far, I think the only one lifetime has come up that Barrett wasn't present. Usually we're together.
Yeah. Like as a couple.
And through other woo-woo means, Barrett and I have been told that we're twin flames. And so we have been playing out this twin flame dynamic in so many lifetimes. And it's really been really cool and really validating that they come up with Joan, because what we were told by a shaman was in our playing out our twin flames, the way that happens is Sid and Nancy is always the example given, but until you work out your shit, you come here to scrap it off, and usually it's in the most violent of ways, like they kill each other, and we have uncovered multiple ways that Barrett has kind of done the end, but there have been a couple of lifetimes that he wasn't my partner, but we were still together, and then there was one lifetime that Barrett just wasn't present at all, and I was like, well, he deserved a break.
Well, because this is related to this historical life that came up, jump down to negative energetic cord. Because these two things are connected, or negative energetic loop.
Yeah.
It's a rescue loop, which is its signature is needing to save or fix someone or feel responsible for their healing and growth. So taking on someone else's emotional work or trying to heal and partner instead of loving them as they are, or extending support until you're depleted, which is, exactly
that is my history. And that's another thing too, that I have to, the work that I'm trying to do is recognize my role in all of this, my contribution. And you made a really good point when you said that, the fawning, people pleasing is the politest form of control.
Yeah.
It is me attempting to control the way that I am perceived.
So you feel safe.
Yeah. So that I feel safe.
Constantly. So its function is exactly provides you a false sense of safety. And it started with Barrett in this lifetime in China. So maybe you were rescuing each other, from whatever underclass situation that you were in, and sort of made this agreement that we were always gonna rescue, right? So it's affecting or attached to your central meridian, which runs down the front of your body. So this is about how you see yourself. So either having to rescue him or be rescued in some way caused some inner conflict for you that has stuck with you kind of through lifetimes. And okay, so let's go back up now to genetic. We'll go through. So on your dad's side, it was 9 generations back. Those are about 40 years. So what is math?
36.
And it began affecting codon 17, which is about opinions, the shadow of opinions. When it shows up genetic, it looks like inherited authoritarian patterns.
Well, hello.
Strict rules, rigid opinions, unyielding beliefs were passed down, really limiting mental openness. And this ancestral mistrust of new ideas coming in, right? Mistrust anything new or mistrust change because we've had trauma in some area. So it's leading you to try to create your mind like a steel trap, right? It's feelings of isolation due to intellectual arrogance or judgment inherited from family or culture, struggles with communication, defensiveness, or needing to be right.
God. Well, historically, I know that's not me now,
right?
But that historically has been me. I think there's a lot of people out there that if you knew a past version of me, you might want to get to know me now, but boy, was I ever. I mean, I'm still opinionated. Like,
right.
I'm definitely, I'm old and I'm definitely opinionated, but not. It's not rigid, and it's not important to me anymore that everyone knows. Historically grew up feeling, because I had adults asking me, as a child, asking me adults.
Right.
I mean, it was very confusing. Yeah, very confusing.
So then ancestral epigenetic inheritance on your mom's side, 8 generations back. Those are 50 years, so 400 years. And it began affecting codon 7. The shadow of 7 is division. So ancestral, epigenetically, cultural conditioning, it's narratives based on us versus them, enforcing hierarchy and mistrust across classes, races, and gender. So this codon is literally where we see culture wars, race wars come from. And it's this fear of power, collective wounds around leadership, creating inner conflict, around wielding your own personal influence.
Well, how many times have you heard me say that? I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to lead. I want to guide.
So then it's this talks about suppression of your individuality, right? So you don't want to be perceived as different. So you're how do I?
Well, what I was just saying to you and to Barrett, I don't want to be any weirder than I already am. I definitely don't want to be perceived as any weirder than I am.
Lost will came up around age 37 for you, and that was important for you to know.
I mean, that's all. My 30s going into my 40s is when I blew up a whole life and then went into an even shittier version. Didn't know it at the time, but frying pan.
So this is God's denial of the vividness and reality of the rainbow spirits. So what that says is, my imagination, intuition, and inner visions aren't real, or worse, they're dangerous or wrong. This belief is born when magical perception, especially the ability to see or feel subtle energies, archetypes, or spiritual beings, is shut down and dismissed, often by authority figures or religious structures. Then your inner child was told, that's just make-believe, don't be weird. For sure, that's not God. That's not God.
Definitely.
It would never be associated with God. So in the original story, rainbow spirits represent vibrant aspects of will, of self. And they're colorful, and they're expressive, and they're multidimensional forces of feeling and intuition. And when those are denied, we begin to internalize this message that our inner knowing cannot be trusted, right? And even then, we might have to explain ourselves. So
constantly. I think that's why I talk so much, is I feel like I have constantly been trying to either convince people that, no, I'm okay, this is all good, you know what I mean? Or explaining myself.
Yeah. So we divorce from mysticism, from our own creativity, and from really that spark that makes that. So symptoms of this look like doubting your intuition, feeling shame about your spiritual gifts, being afraid to speak about your visions and dreams. And this is like in real time something that she is going through right now. Didn't come up when we talked at the very beginning of this session of like the thing that she's most concerned about. I hope I can speak for you.
No, you can.
Is being misperceived about her own
gifts.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know
What are they called? What the
Clairs.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I've always been like an intuitive, even as a kid and whatever, but a lot of that got squelched for a lot of those reasons of this isn't right or this isn't good, or just me observing the way people perceive stuff like that.
Yeah.
And smart enough to know to shut it down. But
I mean, this isn't going to go well.
This isn't going to go over very well. Don't tell people shit that they're not supposed to know.
Right.
Or if you do, just, whatever. But there was something on the end of that you had just said that felt, I don't know, it resonated. I'm sure when we watch it back later or listen later.
Being afraid to speak about because in real time yesterday, we had a whole situation come up where I had a moment of insight, like hit me like a flash of lightning, and not 60 seconds later, she texts me with that same information. It was like a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Big deal.
Big deal. It's giving me whole chills.
She was terrified to tell me, and it all worked out exactly how it was supposed to.
Yes.
I think it was a good lesson for you.
It was
great validation for me.
It was very validating for me, and also it does help me feel more comfortable saying things that might even feel uncomfortable, and trusting that the people that, hey, I have something that might even be kind of uncomfortable, but I feel like it's important to share, and accepting if they say, no, I don't want to know, then I have to be like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. But if they say yes,
right,
then to not only give you the information, but to not try to filter it and not try to dance around it, which I'm very prone to do. I even listened back to what I had said to you because I just, get the download, and then I'm like, I'm still trying not to say it. Like, yeah, I know. I'm saying it. I'm trying not to say it.
I really don't. What, you were afraid it was gonna scare me, piss me off?
Yeah, or be upsetting. I mean, or just throw you off your square a little bit, because, by the way, the download of information I got wasn't anything that you had ever shared with me. But I don't think. I mean, I don't think.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I don't think you had ever said. I don't.
It's about a move that I'm making.
Yeah, I was like,
and changing offices.
Yeah,
life-threatening.
No, nothing scary, but it's big. It's gonna be a big shift. And what I got, and that was the part of it too, is it involves me a little bit, which also makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable.
I get that.
Because
I'm going to hurt myself.
It's just no, you're not going to do that anymore because you're going to do something with me, and it's going to be cool. And I don't ever want to feel like I'm selling anything, because I'm not. But the way I get information, usually it's in pictures. I'll usually just get this fully formed. It's kind of like what I said to you before. Like if I had asked you if you'd read a book or seen a movie.
Oh, right.
And you say no, here I have the movie. It's like I know the whole thing. And that's hard to explain to someone, especially without sounding crazy.
Which is why we're trying to clear so that she can own her superpowers and use them for good. Okay, so then we had, lost well. We talked about the negative energetic cord. The curse that...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever... I keep touching my microphone. I don't think I've had a curse yet. I've had the cords, a ritual, but I've not had a curse. This is my first curse. I'm kind of excited. I'm actually not kind of. I'm very excited about it.
You're going to crack up. The curse of being exiled from the land.
Hello.
A feeling of being spiritually homeless or disconnected from belonging.
That is so true. One of the things, and as Jen's gotten to know me, I'm a project. Well, we're going to talk a lot about human design, and if you're not familiar with human design, if you tune into this, you will be. I'm a projector, which is kind of an alien. I'm an Aquarius, which is kind of an alien. In the family that I grew up in, I was an alien. I mean, it's like that. It's a not fitting in, or feeling other, feeling exiled. That has been a running theme, so it shouldn't be a surprise that comes up. But my God, sometimes they're so on the nose.
So this is providing the same, because this is your story. I get exiled, right? This is just what happens to me. So you keep right, but it also gives you a false sense of safety because you know the outcome. I'm gonna get exiled.
things that my brain really predictable outcome.
Right.
I'm prone to watching the same show over and over or the same movie over and over. I've read the same books multiple times. Like I was not even aware that that's what I was doing or that it was a comfort thing or whatever. So it tracks that this is what I've been doing. Like it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If this all comes down to me at the end of this, I'm going to be so pissed.
It does.
Spoiler alert, it does. It's always you getting to own your shit.
Always you.
And your shit's always gross. It's always embarrassing.
But this did initiate from trauma in one of your lives at some point.
Yeah,
seriously. Could be.
Yeah.
So then this created a loop that now shows up on a smaller scale in your family of origin. It's specifically attached to your sacral chakra, so it's affecting a lot probably of your energy.
Oh my God.
And your creative, juices.
Which I feel like I've just started finally trying to get back. Like I left a situation where, my husband and I, we bought a bus, we moved into this bus, we did all this big change, and then my nervous system just collapsed.
Yeah.
Like I literally just, like I've said before, they don't call it a nervous breakdown anymore. They call it a dorsal vagal collapse. Which is such a very fancy way to just say it. Like my shit just shut down. And if you've ever been through a nervous system fatigue, or there's so many polite words for this kind of collapse, it's you just either dramatically take to the bed, or if you're wealthy, you get to go to the hospital for exhaustion.
To the wellness.
Yeah, to the wellness clinic.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So for this last year, and God love my husband, Barrett, has been such a facilitator, a cheerleader for this, a champion of it, but I've slowly been finding my creativity. I've slowly been allowing myself to paint, to draw, or to write, to speak. And for the longest time, I didn't feel like I had a voice, and I didn't feel like what I had to say mattered.
Because it was too dangerous to be alone or to be seen. Both. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that was holding that in place.
Exiled from the land.
I know. It's affecting every...
Yeah, oh yeah. Physical, etheric, astral, mental, causal, all of my bodies.
And then the level of responsibility that came up was antagonism, which correlates shame.
Mine is always shame, by the way. It always, almost always. I can't even think of a negative that wasn't connected to...
Maybe,
but apathy. You're right. Apathy and shame.
So what's happening there is that she's having conscious and unconscious thoughts of shame that then create this feeling of desire, hostility, right? I'm not going to get what I want. I'm not worthy of getting what I want.
It's not going to happen anyway.
Right, pessimistic attitude towards things. And then when those two things combine, a thought and a feeling come together, it produces an energetic effect that has voltage. And that is what emotion is. And so it's creating antagonism, which makes sense.
Good God.
Right.
Well, it's a bristly armor
there you go.
Of protection that also keeps everything away.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And being rejected, you reject. Or you know what I mean? In that, like, it's a...
I constantly have to bring it back home.
Yeah, I know.
What am I doing?
What's my contribution?
Yeah,
what am I doing?
Yeah.
And in my course correcting, am I overcompensating?
Right. So you're avoiding numbing to survive.
Well, there you go.
I need something outside of myself to function, whether that's, and we all have the ones that we have, like drugs and alcohol, shopping, sex, food can be a big one for a lot of people, gambling. I mean, we all have our thing that we like to kind of numb.
My phone is right now, I would say, just tuning out, disassociating. And it doesn't even have to be just scrolling through TikTok. It can be, I've even mahjong, an online mahjong. Barrett noticed that the other day. He's like, what? Because I was just tapping away. I was just you don't even know. So yeah, my phone, my computer, I can definitely, I haven't been doing any, let's knock wood real fast, but no substance. I haven't been using any outside substances to regulate. I have in the past. I'm not now. If anything, I have even been rejecting the things that I know that will help me regulate and feel better. I haven't been much as I should, as I would like to.
Right.
And even seeing it on the shake plate, like I constantly but now that I'm aware that my body's telling me something all the time, like I know the feelings in my body. I'm learning to identify where they're happening, but like I have energy, I need to move.
Right.
And if I won't. Like I will actively resist allowing myself to feel. It's so frustrating to me. And like last night I finally I stretched. I didn't do any actual yoga, but I just had to move my body. And then I started doodling and drawing, and immediately whenever I started feeling better, and I was like, God, you heifer, why are you doing this to yourself?
Right,
like, why would you deny yourself something that you know? And it isn't like necessarily the act of my drawings are like I've shown Joan. I mean, I make these weird little doodles. It's just moving that energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like we probably expend more energy in resisting the things that will allow us to move that energy
100%.
than we would if we just move the energy.
100%.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to admit to myself, I'm like, you like this.
I hate that. It's like
Like wallowing around in my pain. I'm like, you fucking like it.
yeah, I know. I remember asking you that one time, do you just need to feel bad? Like, maybe that's it.
Right.
Maybe you just need to feel shitty, right? Sometimes I need to just mentally masturbate on something for a little while before I get sick of it enough to be like, this is dumb.
Right.
This isn't even real.
Yeah. I wallowed for a long time.
Yeah, I'm literally given this energy in order for it to stay alive.
Yep. So the upgrade there, like I honor discomfort as divine communication. Discomfort as divine communication.
I'm so discomfort avoidant. Like I don't like being cold or hot. I don't want to be too full. I don't want to be.
It drives me crazy about myself.
Things like because you can give me grace in the fact that I don't find middle easily.
Yeah.
I don't. Like
I'm a temperate climate kind of girl, but we live in Oklahoma.
Yeah. I know, which is another thing too, where I'm just like, I just get out of Oklahoma during the hot.
So there are fears that come up for humans that are pretty universal that we all deal with, and this one's directly on the nose, the fear of self-worth. And it seems like something like ironic, right? Like why would we be afraid of the thing that we're wanting to improve?
Oh my God, well then I'll have to live up to it. What do you mean? I will have to uphold it. If I show you how high the bar actually is and you're aware of it and I have to hold that, well, that puts me on the hook. I already know the answer to this one. I mean, like,
Just explain it.
it makes me want to scream, though, because it's like, this is, you guys are getting to watch me in real time. Recognize, like, it's me. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Yeah.
As Taylor Swift. I think that's her, right?
Yeah. So this makes sense too. So now this is what's being mirrored to her in her relationships and out in the 3D world, her outer world, the mirror of forgotten self-love.
That makes me sad.
So you feel like loving yourself is indulgent, or worse, it's selfish, and everyone around you right now is sort of contributing to that, right?
Yeah.
They're holding up the mirror. You selfish.
I'm selfish.
You're taking care of yourself now? Like, who do you think
Yeah.
you are?
Yes, without naming names, I remember being asked, what do you do?
But there's a part of you that really does want validation from the outside world.
Yeah. And I do get it. I get it from Joan, from Barrett, from myself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can feel myself recovering
Yeah.
from whatever this collapse was. And it's in these conversations that I'm being made aware. And I mean, like, I hate it, but I actually love that it comes down to me, because I can fucking control me. I can change me. I can help me. Or I like to believe I can. I say that with confidence.
I feel like the mirror of low self-worth comes up for people specifically pretty often that have pretty tumultuous childhoods, that this really gets locked in. Yeah. And the element that came up was ether, the energy through which all things manifest.
Literally was just saying that, I think I said that to you in one of my voice notes I sent you, that I didn't want to sound like I was out in the
Ethers.
Yeah.
Turns out you're gonna be.
Yeah.
So we have some your past in this life too clear that we didn't need to know more about. Some sessions we have to do like an age recess to go back to the age of cause or the age that's best to understand like how the problem started. So you end up doing almost too many sessions. Most people don't need that anymore for whatever reason.
The time I just saw a huge monarch butterfly right out the window. A little T trauma from my childhood was the only time I remember needing to go back to age of cause.
Yeah.
Or any of the other ones really?
I don't think so. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one. So now we're breaking down the matrix systems that are affected. So the different systems of her body that this issue, this underlying subconscious program that is sort of running the show, where it's living, how it's showing up in the physical body, which I think is one of the most important parts to really pay attention to, because we just don't live the Western world does not live in a place where if your toe hurts, it means anything about your life. And it's just not true. And we're going to learn more and more as new studies come out that the mind-body connection is so great that Western medicine has probably been looking at things. So with symptoms in Western medicine, I like Western medicine.
I was going to say, I'm a fan of Western medicine for when I have an ear infection, but I also know that
this.
And this. Yeah. And lived example. I literally almost died and did never think that I was going to be able to get this meat suit back to a fully functioning, let alone thriving, healthy body. And here I am. I mean, like, I'm definitely not perfect, but dear God, it's better than where I was because of the emotional work, the mental health work,
These sessions.
Oh my gosh, this has been a huge.
I think it has been for me too. Neil has said several times in the last month or so that he was like, "You're more chill."
Yeah, Vera said, "You're happy.
Yeah.
You're happy."
Yeah.
I lost my happy.
Yeah.
In the thick of it.
I used to be so reactive to a lot of little things, and I'm just not. Blessed.
Yeah, I'm also becoming more tolerant of and less reactant to even the physical stuff that used to be big triggers for me. Like, I know, like, even like, let's say a heat cold, like being I survived the coldest frickin' winter that I ever have. Like, we live in a bus, and so taking our dog out to potty whenever. Remember, it was negative 30 degrees. I bought coveralls, and you know what I mean.
Right.
It's
made it work.
Yeah, and well, it sucked. It's not great going out into when it's really, really cold, but also it wasn't horrible. It was that. I know that sounds kind of silly, but honestly, I think there was a time in my life that I just thought, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I wouldn't have even tried. It would have felt insurmountable to me. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to tackle dealing with my dog and the freezing winter weather. Like, that sounds so dumb to say out loud, but it would have been a stumbling block where I was just like, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to layer up and figure it out, and I did.
Yeah. So you had a meridian come up that was divergent, so you're not getting enough energy to the brain, blood to the brain. It's your gallbladder. So gallbladder is about control, trying to control, lack of control, which is what people pleasing is.
My gallbladder comes up the gallbladder meridian, I believe, and I always say the same thing every time. She gone.
And that's another good point to bring up, though. Like, even if you've had your gallbladder removed,
the meridian
energetically, and you still the meridian is still there, and in your etheric body, you still have the blueprint for.
Just like all the other bits and bobs that get removed energetically, those, not parts, but they're still with us.
Yeah.
Like that. I didn't know that for the longest time. I was like, well, that doesn't apply to me.
Right.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Your 8th chakra came up, which lives about 1.5 inches above the head, and it's your portal into and out of the space-time continuum. So if there's a blockage there in some way, when it's overactive, it looks like disassociation or obsession with past lives and higher realms at the expense of this life.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be
out in the ether.
Right.
Well, obviously.
And when it's underactive, feeling disconnected from your own guidance or purpose or trouble accessing your intuition. So you vacillate.
I was going to say, I do vacillate, and I think that I haven't found middle, which is what I just said, like finding that has been very hard for me.
I think more than anything, this line here, it's this bridge between your ego perception and your higher awareness. And you have so much higher awareness, but your ego is like, well, what if I get it wrong? What if people judge me?
It. Well, honestly, that's really crazy that you say that, though, because one of the things that I haven't said, and I mean, like, it has literally, I haven't said it because I haven't wanted to, which is this. Me being able to manage my ego. If my ego gets involved in any of it, it fucks it up completely. Right. And it's one way or the other. And I hadn't thought about it in the self-doubt. I fear being overly confident. I fear of coming off being like too, like I know this for true or whatever. I have never ever given anybody anything and said, well, this is just the way that it is and this is what I know. I've never been that way, but that's my fear.
Right.
And I'm constantly telling myself, don't let your ego get involved. Don't let your ego get involved. And I never thought about it, which is what it is. Oh my God. A light bulb above my 8th chakra just lit up like a little light bulb above my head.
She's back.
Yeah. Wow.
This is affecting a muscle of yours, digitorum superficialis. It's always these weird
fingers.
Yeah.
Well, if it has anything to do with this right in here, this is where I literally have
all issue.
Yeah. Well, I'm also a hairstylist, so my trigger hand being a little worn out at this point in the
repetitive movements.
Yeah. That shocking. But it is that it's super specific to a place where I have issues.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like my hand hurts, and you're back to it's my feelings of low self-worth that are really affecting my hand. But this is very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I will fully acknowledge my feelings of low self-worth originate from me. Other people are reflecting back to me what I have condensed into my core belief about myself.
Right.
I am in control of that. This is the work that we're doing, is to hand that power back to me.
I think you're taking on a little too much.
Good. Thank you.
It's like, because you didn't know any of this. I mean, you didn't know most of this.
True.
Right? And we just uncovered a whole shit ton of patterns that are keeping this issue. It's your responsibility. It's not your fault.
Yes, thank you. That's the verbiage I didn't need. Well, it's kind of like whatever happened, and it kind of set the table.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep going. I can fucking rake all that off into the floor, and I never have. And in playing out the energetic patterns that were laid out for me, and not having the autonomy, and I don't know if anybody, maybe, I'm sure people do grow up and given the autonomy to say, now you get to be who you are in the world or whatever.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah. That has not been my lived experience.
I hope more kids are born into that life. Oh, for sure.
That's the table I'm trying to set for my grandchildren, that they know you are so safe to be whatever flavor you want to be. You want to be weird, be weird. You want to be studious, be studious. You want to be whatever. I mean, and know that they have that. And by the way, disclaimer, no one's being blamed. This is not a blaming anything. Yeah. This is, for me, this is more of an with this and around this to feel really comfortable with it. But I have a feeling the ears that aren't ready or prepared to hear some of the things that, will definitely take this as shots fired or an offense. And it's not. This is me figuring my own shit out.
An ancestral wound came up, but not more information around it. So maybe something different than these codons. So we're clearing that. It needed its own essence to clear it. Your respiratory system is being affected. It's your venous arterial energy. So it's like, your lungs are literally not getting enough blood supply in return, and the lungs are about taking life.
Yeah.
You have a sacred human wound of rejection, which also makes complete sense.
Tracks. Sacred wound of rejection. That sounds.
It's this wound of not being chosen. This pain creates a belief that you are unworthy of love or belonging. Signs: abandonment issues, people pleasing, fear of intimacy, or defensive detachment.
Well, I mean, that's all of the. I think you're going to have to do your password again.
Weird.
As I shoot coffee out my nose.
And then you have a tooth that came out. Is your upper right canine. And it relates to courage, assertiveness, and decision making, reflecting your response to external expectations. It can embody feelings about authority figures, institutions, or societal structures. There's a tendency to be hypercritical of those closest to you. Strength lies in the ability to speak your truth to authority and power figures, standing firm in your convictions while navigating external pressure. This area can also hold memories of war, invasion, occupation, carrying an imprint of feeling helpless at the mercy of a dominant power. Exiled from the land.
Well, then apply that to, well, we're not even going to go into present day, but, it is September 9th of 2025. One of these days we'll be looking back on this and being like, oh, and then these cycles play out.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so now she's going to take 1 million drops. So we use gem and mineral essences.
I've never seen it all packed up like this before.
They're suspended in and the mother essences are suspended in alcohol, but then when we use these,
sweet glycerin.
Yes,
I was going to say
thank
they're
you.
sweet. Some of them are spicy to me. Like some of them actually feel spicy.
You're taking 13 on the tongue.
I'm going to take one for the team and I'm going to show them me doing this, but I'm going to look like a total idiot doing it.
You can feel.
Usually I go stand in front of a mirror so that I'm not just dripping these down my face. 13 drops on the tongue.
And cobaltite specifically supports deep self-inquiry, helps you confront limiting beliefs and patterns of self-sabotage. Physically, it stimulates cellular regeneration, supports endocrine balance, and revitalizes depleted energy.
And this is the part of it that's just magic to me, and it just works. I mean, like it just works.
I don't have anything to read to you about this one. 10 chakras blend, 13 under the tongue for codon 7. So there's like hierarchies that get built into our genetics.
My biggest fear is touching this to my tongue, and I would
know.
die. I'm like, I would rather drip it up my nose than to, you know what I mean? Like miss my face entirely than to touch my tongue. How many on this one?
13 on the tongue for the lost will of shutting down your intuition, because that's just not God. Calms your astral body, grounds excess emotional energy, supports mutual understanding, and soothes the excesses of those addicted to emotional trauma. It helps those who focus too much on past wounds to accept the facts and move forward. Imbues the cells of your body with the divine blueprint of the correctly functioning human vehicle.
Hey, 13 on or
Under. Flint. That's what I just read. What did I just give you? I just read Flint. Okay. That's what you're taking now. Kenawite releases limiting beliefs, soothes anxiety, and quiets mental chatter. It's like an energetic declutterer. Ooh. It's perfect for clearing old programming and aligning with your authentic self. It is for the curse of rescue, and you're taking 13 under. Lepidolite assists you in finding a strong emotional center, unaffected by the dramas and events of your external experience. Great for those who worry too much or have fear.
who, me?
Yeah. My gold, you're taking, I think, twice. You're taking 13 on and 13 under the tongue for the tooth and the past data. Monoatomic gold expands your consciousness, it expands your spiritual wisdom and your intuition, raises your vibration, and clears deep trauma.
Good thing that tastes good. Vision Quest.
Vision Quest.
The droppers that suck it all the way up to the top because I know
know,
we get
right?
13 drops out of those.
It's pipestone, turquoise, and silver. This blend guides you into the no-time quantum field, opening your inner eyes to multidimensional perception. Pipestone connects you to your star elders and earth keepers. Silver weaves multidimensional insight. Did I not tell you? 13. Divergent meridian. Ruby and turquoise. It activates your creativity, your manifestation skills, and grounds you with spiritual awareness. It lights the way through darkness and supports safe exploration of spiritual dimensions.
Ooh, I like that. That one's spicy too. This is a spicy one.
My projector clients can tell the difference between the tastes of them. To note.
One of the things that I was listening to a podcast on my drive over here to Jen's and was listening to a woman talk about projectors, and she was saying that we need to have projector friends. Like projectors need projector friends around them, and I had never heard that before.
That makes
number
sense. I read that to you earlier, but this is for that extension muscle. Yep. For the ancestral wound, 13 on the tongue. The difference between taking it on the tongue is that you're taking a physical action to diffuse the issue. If it's under the tongue, you need support at a cellular level. Did I just hand you tanzanite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're taking 13 under for your respiratory system. Tanzanite is the stone of transformation. It's known for helping you move through emotional healing with grace and clarity. It gently dissolves fear, grief, and self-doubt while supporting deep inner shifts. Perfect for empaths and sensitives, strengthens emotional boundaries, and encourages authentic self-expression. In calcite, you're taking 13 under for the sacred human wound of rejection.
I know.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
First time it took me I felt like an hour, and I was like, oh my god, I kept apologizing to my client. This part doesn't usually take this long. Okay, so now we're gonna check and make sure that we've cleared everything. It's a pretty big issue. A lot of things came up, so I definitely kind of go through and list those things. Show me a yes, show me a no. The core negative and shadow beliefs, I never have enough time and I don't matter, have absolutely and completely been transformed into the universal law. Any reason that that's not absolutely true? Codons 17 and 7 are now replicating perfectly in your DNA. It's anything else. The lost will of not feeling safe to listen to your intuition has been cleared, as well as the curse of being sent out from the land. I'm forgetting how it was phrased. Exiled from the land. This negative energetic cord of rescue has been transformed as well. Any reason that's not true. So 100% of all blockages and distortions have absolutely and totally been cleared from your holographic human energy system and has been transformed into the universal law of light, love, balanced, rhythmic interchange. This is true on all levels, all dimensions, known and unknown, all points on the compass of time, from the beginning of time to the end of time, and all points in between. It's anything else. And the negative energy is 0, and the positive is over 100. And that's not true. And we're infusing the energy of the element ether. So whatever that looks like. I picture it like bubbles. But
I picture it like a silvery mist was literally what I just saw. So
cool. Yeah, love it.
Whatever that is.
Get that in your mind's eye. And then we're bringing that energy of the ether forward in time with your past data. We're bringing you into the present moment, bringing you right here, anywhere else. And the negative energy is 0 on this issue in present time. Any reason that it's not. There will be withdrawal or residual from this. There is some aspect of this that is remaining, and there's homework. Any reason that there wouldn't be, and the homework is focusing on the ether. And how many days would you do that? 1? And how many times a day? Once a day? Once a day. Just tomorrow.
Tomorrow, get to meditate on the ether.
And then typically what I do from here is I've also done a recording, an audio of this, and I take that transcript and create a report for you that
Which
you
is
get.
really powerful.
It's really been powerful. I wasn't doing that at first, and it's so helpful to be able to really see kind of a rewrite of the story of what's going on, taking all of this information and really telling a different story with it. Yeah. And how these things were supporting this underlying problem.
Yeah.
Or this issue. Yeah. So those have been pretty powerful, and you get those within a day or two. I just realized this morning that I forgot to send one last.
Well, I forgot too, but it's been a busy week.
Busy.
This has been a lot.
It
It has been. Yeah, it really has. And we're entering eclipse season.
Yeah.
So, good news, it's only going to get busier and weirder.
Right. Hang in there, friends.
Yeah.
We ran long, so I'm going to jump off. Yeah, every time. No, I didn't mean that towards you, but we're always going to run long. Yes. Lots of love. See you next time.
Bye.